All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now, with the draft lottery here in just a couple of days, I want to give you guys a little bit more info on how it works. Not everyone's fully aware. Kind of a little bit more about my opinions on what happens if where we fall. I'll obviously make a ton of videos after the draft lottery, and I also will be live for the entire duration of the draft lottery. So stay tuned for that. But the Houston Rockets, they played 72 games. They won 17 of them. Worst record in the NBA. It was not the end result that they were looking for, but at least they weren't like middle of the pack, kind of like 10 seed, 11 seed, or 12 seed. At least they were clearly the worst team in the NBA. No hope there. There was no hope at the end of the season. I mean, it's for that season. There's obviously a ton of hope and potential moving forward, but it's not like, we're the 11th seed, 12th seed, kind of like the Bulls trying to get into that play-in tournament, end up not making it, and then you're all just depressed. But the future's looking good, and this is the biggest deal for the Houston Rockets the last 8 years. Ever since James Harden has become a Houston Rocket, they have not been in this situation. Most Rocket fans don't even know much about the draft and the drafting process and how valuable a top 4 pick is in the NBA, especially in this year's draft. A top 4 pick, it's almost equivalent to a superstar. It's definitely equivalent to an all-star. I mean, these are generational talents that you are trying to draft. Franchise players. Now, here's how it breaks down for the Rockets and their odds at landing that top pick. Now, the 3 worst teams in the league all have equal odds at landing a top 4 pick. Now, Houston ended the season with the worst record in the league, but they're just overachievers, unfortunately. So that means the Rockets, the Pistons, and the Orlando Magic's odds at a top 4 pick go as 14, 13.4, 12.7, and 11.9. So then the teams with the next best odds at a top 4 pick are the Oklahoma City Thunder at 11.5 and the Cleveland Cavaliers at 11.2. Now, where the Rockets differentiate themselves from the other teams is that the absolute worst record in the league will not fall below a top 5 pick. Typically, that is incredible. If the Rockets' top 4 pick was not protected this season, Rocket fans would be completely chilling right now because you would know you have a guaranteed top 5 pick in this year's draft. And even if you fall to 5, maybe one of the top 4 of Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, Cade Cunningham, or Evan Mobley, hopefully one of them were to fall past. Or if not, you take the risk on Jonathan Kuminga. After all, he looked pretty solid in the G League. So the Rockets in the Chris Paul trade sent over a protected top 4 first round pick to the Thunder. That means anything below the top 4 pick, or maybe it's higher, would go to Oklahoma City, basically if they're not the top 4 pick. Now, a Rockets team going all out for an entire season in such a high-risk situation, it could either be the most depressing thing ever, or it could be the best day ever. I am strongly encouraging you to tune into my live stream on Tuesday, June 22nd at 8:30 Eastern time, because, I mean, if they fall outside of top 4, I will be so sad. If they get that first pick, I will be so happy. I mean, it just should be a great day. So it's extremely tense. Like, you thought things were tense when they had PJ Tucker at center. Well, nope. Now we're relying on ping pong balls. It's like playing bingo. So, like I said, the draft will be this Tuesday, June 22nd at 8:30 Eastern time. Now, for the Rockets in this particular situation, really, it comes down to they have a 52% chance, essentially, at landing a top 4 pick. And if they don't, I mean, it's important to kind of, first off, you can go on NBA Tankathon and you can pretty much do these odds. You can test it. You can simulate a lottery result, the lottery odds. And sometimes the Houston Rockets do fall at 5. Sometimes they fall at 1. Sometimes they fall at 2. Sometimes they fall at 3. Sometimes they fall at 4. But any of the top 4 picks, you got to wrap your brain around because, I mean, a lot of us Rocket fans, a lot of us Rocket content creators especially, I mean, you see Cade Cunningham. When I think of Cade Cunningham, I think of Luka Doncic. I think of a generational superstar. I think of somebody who is going to help this team win games right away. And then from the content side, I see a guy who is going to get a lot of views and is going to kind of rejuvenate, refresh this Houston Rockets fan base, because I mean they just won 17 games. No one's really watching Rockets, no one's talking Rockets, no one cares about the Rockets because James Harden is gone. Even half the Rocket fans don't care about the Rockets anymore because they were just fake Rocket fans. They were just James Harden fans, and you see that a lot, especially after last night's James Harden loss. Who's really a Rocket fan and who was really a James Harden fan? Now, it's extremely important to just get your brain ready for the possibility of falling 5, and it's not the end of the world. I make all these videos about Cade Cunningham because I know they'll do well. I really want Cade Cunningham on the Rockets. I know he will do well on the Rockets. But realistically speaking, it is a 14% chance. And the odds that they fall outside of the top 4, it's a little less than a coin flip. It's 48. They have a 48% chance at getting that top 5 pick, at getting that 5th pick. And those odds are horrible. The lottery system is stupid. In my opinion, it should be completely based off record, but you kind of want to prevent tanking. I guess it makes sense. I still think they need to figure out better odds for the lottery. They changed it up a couple of years ago to help prevent tanking, but 14% chance at getting Cade Cunningham and then a 48% chance at not getting anybody. But it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world because they still will have 3 first-round picks. I think they'll end up having the 18th pick, 22nd pick, and 23rd pick if that pick falls out of the top 4. It's not the end of the world because you can still package those. You can still, get one and package the other 2. You can still draft 2, package the other one with a player or something like that. There's still some great players at the end of the draft. This is an extremely deep draft, so it's not the end of the world. It just means the rebuilding process will most likely just take a little bit longer than it would if they had gotten a Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, or Jalen Suggs, and then obviously much longer than if it weren't Cade Cunningham. But it's all going to be okay. The last time the Rockets kind of were in this situation was all the way back in 2001. My OG Rocket fans know exactly what happened. They got Yao Ming. They got the first pick in the draft, and they got Yao Ming. So everything worked out fine there. I think this is a little bit of destiny as well. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I will see you guys tomorrow.